Hello everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our topic one word substitution. Now, this is part 6. Till part 5, we have already done in our earlier session. In this session, we are going to discuss one word substitution based on killings. In this session, we will discuss definition of killings. Now, killings are actually, for example, when suppose a person that kills another person or another thing. For example, A kills an insect. So this is also a kind of killing. It is also a kind of murder. And what is this murder called, or what is this killing called? So that is a name which is given to the killings. So in this session, we are going to discuss the names of the killings. Now this is very interesting as well. Words related to killings and their names. So in this session, we are also going to discuss words related to killings and their names. So let's begin the session. First, we'll have a basic or a brief introduction of killings. Killing refers to the act of causing the death of a living organism, typically another person or animal, or you can say by another person or animal. For example, suppose we use a chemical that kills bacteria. Chemical that kills bacteria. Now we use this chemical in mop or in mopping. So when we are using this chemical and this chemical is killing bacteria, so this chemical is killing someone, and that killing is also known as something. It is also known by some name. So we are going to discuss the names of these killings in this session. In English, we read one word substitution based on killings that shows killing of various kinds and their names. So let's begin. First is killing of birds. Now, whenever there is any bird and somebody kills it, for example, there is a person A who kills a bird by any reason. By mistake, he killed the bird accidentally or whatever, intentionally. So that killing or then that act of killing, that is known as avicide. Now, this word av, from where does it come? If you have heard a word that is aviary. Now, aviary is a place where the bird lives or where the birds are kept. So from that, we can derive this word av. This is again related to a word with bird. Also, when we see this word side, this is a root word for killing. So for killing, we use a root word that is side. Now, whenever we have a suffix that is side, it means it is denoting a killing of someone or something by someone. So, whenever we have this suffix that is CIDE, side, it means it is related to killing of someone or something. So, killing of birds, this is known as avicide. Killing of a fox is known as vulpicide, because for fox we use the word vulpi. Killing of bacteria, this is known as bactericide or bactericide, or you can also have a term that is bacteriocide. Now, we can also have more than one word or more than one word substitution for a group of words. Killing of aphids. Now, what are aphids? Aphids are basically very small insects, very, very small, very little, or you can say very minute sized. These are known as aphids. So this is known as aphicide. Now this is very simple. It is just we are adding the suffix cide with that particular word only. There is not another language word of that particular word, but it is actually that particular word in which we are just adding cide, side, so that we can keep these words remember for a long time. Now let us move to the next one. We have another is killing of whales and other cetaceans. So this is known as whaling. So this act is known as whaling. Killing of living material or the destruction of life, because for life we use a word bio And for killing, we use the word side. So it will be bio plus side, that is biocide. Slaughter of cattle, one who kills cattle. So that is known as bovicide. So something that can kill cattle, that can do the murder of cattle. Cattle includes various animals that provide us milk or meat. So slaughter of cattle or the killing of cattle. So this is known as bovicide. Now, because these are only the names of killings, we are not talking about something which is dangerous over here, but we are just learning the words, learning the names of these words, because these words are asked in our exam and also will be asked in our exam of any competition. Killing of a bishop. Now, this is known as episcopicide. This is known as episcopicide. So, killing of a bishop, this is known as episcopicide. Now, let us move to the next one. Killing of a fetus or abortion. Now, this is known as aborticide. Killing of algae. This is known as algicide. Murder of a friend. It means when anyone kills his own friend. Suppose there is a person A and he kills his friend B. So killing of one's friend by any means for any purpose, that is known as amicide. Now for a friend, we use the word amiable. So amiable relates to, or the meaning of amiable is friendly. From that particular word, we derive a word that is amiable. And amicide means killing of one's friend. Killer of mites and ticks. Now this is known as acaricide or acaricide. So we can also have more than one word substitution or more than one word for a particular group of words. So we are going to discuss that also in this session. So let's move further. Killing of a woman or girl, this is known as femicide. So for girl of a woman, we use female, and this is known as femicide. Also, we can also have a word that is gynae. So we can also use gynaecide, because for women, we use the word gynae. So gynaecide is also the same term as femicide. Killing of one's own child. Now this is known as filicide. We can also use another name, that is prolicide. Killing of a fetus, this is known as fratricide. Now we use another term as well, that is forticide, that we'll discuss later on. Now killing of a cat, this is known as fallicide. Now there is a difference. This is filicide and this is fallicide. So let us name a cat that is Fally, and to kill her, this is known as fallicide. So for child, we use Fili, and for cat, we use Fally. So we must remember these words because these are very close words and very important too. Now let us move to the next one. Killing of insects. Now this is very, very simple. We are just adding side with this word. So it will be insecticide. Killing of larvae. This is larvicide. Killing of an infant, this is known as infanticide. So we are just adding side to these words. So these words can be remembered for a long time easily. Destruction of liberty. When someone is just giving restrictions to the liberty of freedom, just killing it, just not allowing freedom, that is known as liberticide. Now let us move further. Killing a fetus. Or you can say, so killing a fetus, this is known as forticide. Now we have already learnt a word related to it earlier as well. So this is another word for that particular group of words only. Killing of one's brother. Now this is known as fratricide. Killing or killer of flowers. Now for flower, we use the word floral. As you can also keep this remember with a word that is one who sells flowers. Now that person is known as florist. From that particular word, we derive a word that is floral. And with floral, we can learn a word that is floricide. So one who is a killer of flowers, that is known as floricide. Substance that kills ants or ants, that is known as formicide. Now let us move further. Killing of plants. So for plants, we use a word herbal. From that, we can learn a word that is herbicide. Killing of heretics. Now, heretics is a term or is a synonym of atheist. Atheist is a person who does not believe in God. So, killing of that heretics or killing of atheist, this is known as hereticide. Killing of a human being or any person by anyone, that is known as homicide. So homicide is not related to home, it is related to any human being. So killing of any human being, this is known as homicide. Destruction of the environment. Now we use a word for environment, that is eco. Let us say ecosystem, ecology. So the word related to environment is eco, and destruction of the environment is known as ecocide. This is eco plus side, that is ecocide. Now let us move to the next one. Killing of a race or ethnic group. This is known as genocide. Now, if someone kills the entire group, the entire race of someone, that is known as genocide. Killing of a giant is known as gianticide. Substance that kills germs, now it is just germs plus side, that is germicide. And this is giant plus side, this is gianticide. Killing of fungus, this is known as fungicide. So for fungus we use a plural noun, that is fungi or fungi, and we just add side to it. So fungi plus side, that is fungicide. Now let us move to the next one. Killing of mollusks. So this is known as molluscicide. So we are just adding CICIDE. So molluscicide. Killing of flies or substance for killing flies. So this is known as mucicide. Killing or killer of microbes. Now this is known as microbicide. Agent which kills mites. This is known as miticide. Now let us move further. Killing of one's father, this is known as patricide. Killing or killer of one's parents, this is known as parenticide. Killing of partridges is known as parricide. Now partridges are the kinds of birds. So these are some types of birds. So partridges, the killing of partridges is known as parricide. Parricide is actually the French name of these partridges. Killing of parents or a parent-like close relative. Now, there is a difference. If we say killing of one's parents, that is known as parenticide. But if I say killing of parents or parent-like close relative, now that is known as parricide. So there is a difference between parenticide and parricide. So you must remember this thing, that if it is killing of one's parents, that is known as parenticide, and if it is just a parent-like close relative, then it is parricide. Now let us move further. Killing or killer of a newborn infant. Now for infant we are using infanticide. Obviously an infant is a newborn baby only. But if it is specifically written over there, that is newborn infant, that is known as neonaticide, because for an infant or for a newborn we use the word neonat. Also neonatal is also the pre-birth term, so that is also known as neonaticide. Killing of parasites, this is known as parasiticide. This is parasite or parasiticide. So we are just removing this E from here and we are adding CIDE side to it. A parent attempted suicide without the actual intention of killing oneself. Now, if a person who is just pretending to kill himself while he is not killing himself or he is not going to kill himself, that is just an act of pretending, or that is just a pretending that he is going to kill himself. That is just an attempt where it is not at all in his mind that he is going to kill himself. Now this is known as parasuicide, or you can say this is fake suicide. So this is just a pretending. So this is parasuicide. But if a person kills himself, their killing is known as suicide. Killing insect eggs, this is known as ovicide. Now let us move to the next one. Killing or killer of one's husband, this is known as mariticide. Now this term comes from a word maritus. Maritus is actually a name for husband in another language. So this is maritus, and from this term we can learn the word mariticide. Now there is one more term which is similar to this, that is killing of one's mother. Now this is matricide. So for mother you can learn a word that is maternal, that is maternity. So from that you can derive that killing of one's mother, that is known as matricide. But there is a difference between mariticide and matricide. How? Mariticide is killing of one's husband, whereas killing of one's mother is known as matricide. So there is a difference of pronunciation and spelling too. There is mariticide and matricide. Then killing of one's wife, this is known as uxoricide. Again, uxor is a term used for wife in some other language. So killing of one's wife is known as uxoricide. Killing of a wolf or wolves, this is known as leupicide, because for wolf we use a term that is leupi. Now let us move to the next one. Killing of offspring, killing of the human race, this is known as prolicide. We have already learnt such term earlier as well in the same session, in which I told you that killing of one's baby is known as filicide, and killing of an offspring, this is known as prolicide. Substance or person who kills rats. So we know well rats, and when rats are killed, for example, suppose there is a person, suppose there is a person A. He gives or he used some kind of poison to kill rats. So that poison is actually the thing or a substance which is going to kill rats, and that is known as raticide. So the things, the substances or the poison, the chemical that one uses in one's house for killing rats, that is known as raticide. Then killing of pests. Again, we just add suffix to it, that is side, so it will be pesticide. Flea killer, again flea are some kind of flies, or some kind of insects, so that is flea killer, and that is known as pulicide. Now let us move to the next one. Destroying the meaning of a word. It means if a person tries to just destroy the sense of the word, just try to destroy the meaning of the word, or just try to destroy that particular word. So a related term to the word is verbal. So here we are using a term that is verb plus side. So verbicide, verbi plus side, that is verbicide. Substance or person who kills wasps. Now wasps are a kind of insects, so that is known as waspicide. Killing of viruses, this is known as viricide. Now there is another term for this as well, that is virocide. So virocide is again killing of viruses. Killing of worms. Now killing of worms is known as vermicide. Now let us move further. Killing or killer of a snake. So for a snake we use a term that is serpent. So just for this we are using a word that is serpenticide. So we are just adding serpent plus side, so this is serpenticide. Now killing of a monarch. Monarch means king or queen. So king or queen, any of these or either of these can be a monarch. So monarch is actually a common noun or a common gender noun. So monarch can be any or either of the king or the queen. So monarch, killing of a monarch, killing of a king, killing of a queen, this is known as regicide. So if it is asked that killing of a king, also this is regicide. Killing of a queen, that is also regicide. And killing of a monarch, this is also regicide. Killing of old men, or we can say killing of elderly. So this is known as sanicide. Killing of rodents. Now rodents are a kind of animals that is like rats, squirrels, etc. So that is known as rodenticide. Now let us move to the next one. Killing of oneself. We have already read such word that is suicide, and if we just pretend or if anyone just pretends, so that is known as parricide. Killing of tape bombs, that is known as taniacide. Now, killing of spores, this is known as a sporicide. Something that kills weeds, this is known as weedicide. Now, let us move further. Killing of one's own sister, this is known as sorrowcide. And we have already learned that killing of one's brother, that is known as fratricide. Killing or killer of sibling. Now, there is a difference between sibling, brother and sister. So, brother and sister are specific and sibling can be for any. So, it is siblicide. So, again, that is just, we are using sibly plus side. So, that is siblicide. Destruction of an entire species. Now, in genocide, we learned of a group or of the same caste or of the same religion or of the same race, but it is written destruction of an entire species of something, that is known as speciocide or speciocide. So here we are using a term species, so specio from this word, and we are adding just suffix, that is side. Then substance that kills trees, this is known as sylvicide. And when we learnt that killing of plants, that is known as herbicide. And if we are saying that killing of trees, or you can say substance that kills trees, that is known as sylvicide. Now, it is not like killing or stabbing the trees. You can say that is destroying the trees. That is also known as sylvicide. Now, maybe it is not a person, it is kind of thing, it is a substance that is just destroying the trees. Now, let us move to the next one. Reduction of mind by psychological pressure. This is known as menticide. Now, psychological relates to mind, and mental is again a word related to mind, so that is menticide. One who stabs an inflated skin vessel instead of killing someone. This is known as utricide. Killing or killer of a prophet. Prophet means soothsayer or a fortune teller. So that is known as weticide. Killing or killer of a bear. So for bear, we use the term ursi. So this is ursicide or ursicide. Now let us move to the next one. Killing or killer of a bull. So that is known as tauricide. Killing or killer of a tyrant, that is known as tyrannicide. Destruction of a city. This now for city we use the term urban. So that is known as herbicide. Killing of trypanosomes. Now trypanosomes are actually kind of bacteria or other small or the smallest animals or microscopic animals. So trypanosomes, so that is known as trypanoside. So we have learned many types of killings and their names in this session. I hope you understood them all. Thank you very much.